we doing? Oh boy! Good to see you guys. This is our Cinco de Mayo special, ladies and gentlemen. Oh boy, we're coming up on a year too. Did you guys know that? Ain't that something? Yeah, here on May 18th, the High Tonight Show is gonna be a year old. Second, two season in. It's so fucking amazing. I'm saying it now because I'm probably gonna forget when that day rolls around. You know? Alrighty, guys, we have a really fucking good show for you tonight. Yeah. Of course, as always, we have Norman motherfucking Davis rocking in and out. Everybody's gonna be our music conductor. Goddamn, and we got, of course, our musical guests. We got Jordan Iverson in the motherfucking house, ladies and gentlemen, and his producer Mackinswayze. We also have the very funny Yema Nkele in the house. He's our comedian guest. And we have Jerome Tennison, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, our very special guest who's going to be coming out here after the monologue. We have, usually he goes by Goat versus Fish. I don't know, you might have seen him. But tonight, very special tonight, he's going to go by Cabra y Pez. Okay, Cabra. Oh shit, my bad. Cabra versus Pez. Cabra versus Pez, which translates to Goat versus Fish. It's gonna be really fucking crazy. You guys don't understand right now, but you'll see in a minute. Okay. All right, so let's get started. What's been new? My son started daycare this week. Really wonderful. He's 17 months old, and we finally got him out of the fucking house. Yeah. It's really great. You know, I'm really happy to have help. Like, I mean, man, he's becoming unbearable. Oh, I love him. You know, he's so cute, but he needs to socialize, dude. Okay, me and his mom are the only fucking people he knows, and he doesn't even know how to play with kids. He just stares at them and shit, like really awkwardly. You know? I don't want my kid to be that kid, you know. But it's kind of fun because like he was the only I mean, he's half white. Believe it or not, I'm Mexican. I know I'm a Mexican male. I look like neither, right? And fucking, I can celebrate Cinco de Mayo. My son's only half. And he's like the only white boy there. I mean, the poor fucking kid. And they're gonna teach him Spanish and shit too. I mean, it's in his blood. You know, he knows agua and shit like that. And believe it or not, I'm 2 feet taller than both my parents. Short little and you know, super light skin. It's because I date these white women. You know, I consider myself a social appropriator in a sense. You know. And my dad, he's a super Mexican. He was born in Anaheim, but he moved to Texas as soon as he could fucking walk, you know. And he's a real old school kind of guy. He sticks to his guns, literally and figuratively. Like he doesn't even go to Target because they don't allow weapons in there. I mean, I guess they're scared that the people with weapons are gonna come by and shoot their fucking logo or something. I mean, people that retarded. I don't know what their problem is. He's more concerned about their bathrooms. Really, he just doesn't know what he's gonna see in there. And the thing about the guns and all that shit, they were in the news this week. What was it, Eric? The NRA, right? Yeah. So the NRA, speaking of guns, they held a rally this week. And guess what? They didn't allow guns. Yeah, you didn't want anybody attending your rally to fucking have guns. Doesn't that seem like the safest thing to do? Like, that's like fucking having like a Hooters meeting and telling everyone to wear the sports bras. What the fuck are you talking about? I mean, not cool. I mean, I don't get it. That's your product, guys. Why don't you trust it? Let's see here. Speaking of blowing loads and shit, let's talk about Trump. Our president is a real fucking pimp, man. Okay, the last time a president was blowing this many loads over strangers, they impeached him right away, and he was smooth as fuck. He could play a saxophone. This guy, this guy right here, he's over here paying off hookers. According to his new lawyer, Giuliani, with his own personal money. Like, it's not, they're coming out and like covering their asses saying, no, it wasn't campaign money. We paid off Stormy with our personal money. You're fucking retarded. You're supposed to be his lawyer. This is your first interview and you're already here talking shit about his hookers, man. Why don't you shut up? I mean, geez, Giuliani. By the way, Giuliani himself came out a couple years ago against weed, saying it deteriorates your mind. Maybe if he smoked a little bit, he'd be sharper and wouldn't say half that shit. I mean, just a really bad job, dude. Day one, and you're just fucking up your client. But yeah, they admitted to paying Stormy, so he spilled the beans, quite literally. And speaking of old grandpas and shit at the dinner table talking, racist stuff like a retard. Jeff Sessions is he's always our public enemy number one. He said bad people smoke weed once. And now, right? He said that shit, but now he's having his who's gonna be doing it, Eric? Like his whole branch is gonna be studying marijuana. They're gonna have like research facilities for it, studying it. I'm like, yeah, dude, okay, I've been studying it since I was 17, all right? What the fuck do you think you're gonna figure it out, you fucking Keebler elf? But anyways, hopefully that leads to something good, right?
Hopefully.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you say we start the show, huh? Woo! Make some fucking noise! Let's get this right here, I have a real fucking treat for you. Put your hands together. He usually goes by Goat versus Fish, but tonight for Cinco de Mayo, El Cabra versus Pez! Holy shit!
Oh, it's fierce! And it's back to Goat versus Fish that I'm wanting to go. Into a land and a sea of cabra y pez. How my corazón does pulses with the feeling of verses. I am Goat versus Fish. En el principio fue cabra versus pez. Lo cabra pez. Y cabra versus pez dijo que debería haber cabra y que debería haber pez. No hay alfa ni omega. No, no, no. No hay blanco ni negro. No, no, no. No hay bueno ni malo. ¡Solo hay cabra! ¡Ay, ay, ay, cabra! ¡Y pez, y pez! Y cabra versus pez. Tienes muchas preguntas, ¿sí? ¿Quién es cabra versus pez? ¿Qué es cabra versus pez? ¿Por qué es cabra versus pez? ¿Por qué cabra versus pez? ¿Por qué cabra versus pez? ¿Por qué cabra versus pez? Pero solo hay una pregunta. ¿Eres tú cabra o eres tú pez? Es Goat versus Fish. Es cabra versus pez. Gracias, gracias. Goat versus Fish. Cabra versus pez. Cabra versus Fish.
Alright, I guess we're done with the Spanish now.
Well, you see, Goat versus Fish, cabra versus pez. You see, many are saying that cabra versus pez is looking differently now than usual. No, but it is only how you are perceiving Goat versus Fish. It has always been cabra versus pez. Always cabra versus pez.
I want you guys to realize I'm the high one here, okay? He's completely sober right now.
High on the fence. This one is high on the fence,
I am
choosing
high.
neither cabra or pez.
Yeah, I'm in the middle. Strong, right in the middle. That's my thing. I don't know. I don't like to choose sides. I see the good in both sides.
When Goat versus Fish is with this one that is so high on the fence, Goat versus Fish finds the grass of the land or the weed of the sea. We celebrate. We celebrate!
Holy shit. So, what have you been up to? We had you on last season for season 1. What have you been doing since then? You started a podcast, right?
Yes, there is the Goat versus Fish podcast. Yes, it is recorded. Thank you. Yes, thank you for this offering at the Comedy Store Los Angeles. It is so. And you have spoken to Goat versus Fish on it, yes?
Yes, I was. You could find me on the 420 episode special. I got Goat
Yes.
versus Fish high as a fucking fence.
Is that so? No, Goat versus Fish may have been high, as this one says, but never on the fence, never sitting on the fence. Goat versus Fish could tell you this, yes? that goat versus fish did have a mighty versus on the verses of 420 goat and fish. Went to a place that is called Hippie Hill in San Francisco, they do call it, yes. There were thousands, yes, thousands of goat and fish, all consuming the grass of the land and the weed of the sea at once. It was very goat versus fish. We celebrate these ones.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Goat versus fish was even on the news, as you do call it. They found goat versus fish on
Of course they found you.
Yes, it was. People behaving badly, they call it on KRON. Yes, it is the messages they have in the San Francisco. And goat versus fish was there, spreading the word. Goat versus fish for all to see. For all to see.
Holy shit. So what is goat versus fish feelings on Cinco de Mayo, man? How do you feel about Mexicans?
Well, goat versus fish has heard that there was a versus many verses ago.
Yeah, there was.
Where there were ones that did call themselves Mexican and one that did call themselves French, yes, and they did have a mighty verses on this verses of Cinco Cabra y Cinco Pez, yes.
That's how the story goes, yeah.
Yes, and which was the goat and which was the fish? Were the French the goat or were the French the fish?
They were some bitches.
Oh yeah, they usually are, but I don't know what they'd be. I mean, I'm not
Make some noise, ones who are looking, yes? Make some noise if you say that in the verses of the Mexicans and the French that the Mexicans are goat.
Goats? Are they goats?
Make some noise if it is goat.
Yeah. I don't know.
Make some noise if the Mexican is fish.
Fish?
Yeah.
You know what? It might make sense that a lot of them are fence because we like jumping those things, you know?
Oh, is that so? Goat versus fish has heard of it. Goat versus fish has heard of the one that they do call Trump, yes?
Oh, yeah.
It wishes to build a fence 1,000 verses long, dividing the land from the land so the goat cannot come together to versus the fish. This is very fence-sitterly.
It is.
How does it feel to be a fence-sitter when this one that is called Trump does also seem to be so fence-sitterly building a fence? Are you the same as the one called Trump, fence-sitter?
I'm not. I wouldn't say that I'm the same. Here you go.
Thank you,
but
yes.
you know, I don't know how to feel about it, man. I mean, I feel like no matter how high that wall goes, in the end, he's gonna ask Mexicans to build it in the first place. So you know, we're gonna figure out. We're gonna probably build some shit underneath it. We always figure it out. You can't keep us out. They love tacos.
Is that so? Yes, goat versus fish has consumed it. Yes. But let us look at the verses. Look how verses is the verses. These verses. Let us celebrate verses. Yeah.
Yes. The
Look,
verses.
it is such a verses. Yes, and it is the cabra. Yes, it is the cabra.
Look at this fucking poncho.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is ridiculous.
And it is Pez.
Oh,
Make some
you
noise
put a
for
poncho
Pez.
on
Make
them
some noise
too.
for
Holy
Pez.
shit,
It is cabra
Pez.
versus Pez.
What the fuck? Oh my god.
Have you heard of the fish? It must be a fish. The pest that is called the chupacabra. It consumes the very goat.
Yes,
You have heard of it.
Yeah,
yes.
usually sucks the goat dry. Yeah, it's a Mexican tale.
Tell us these verses of this goat. Of this fish that consumes the goat. That is called the chupacabra. Let us hear it. Let us regale goat versus fish with tales of the chupacabra.
It's just something, you know, it's old folklore. It's something you tell your kids so shut the hell up at night, you know. It's just some scary shit. I can't even explain it well unless I knew Spanish well enough to tell you in Spanish. It sounds much scarier. But, you know, it's just like a little goat sucker. It's like an alien thing. There's an episode on X-Files about it. You can check it out.
It comes
But,
and it sucks the very
yeah,
goat. It sucks
yeah,
the goat in the verses.
Indeed. Guys, make some fucking noise for goat versus fish.
Yeah.
Shit is so crazy. Cabra versus Pez, rather.
Cabra versus Pez.
Before we go, I don't know. What was your answer last time? What were you, Norman? Are you goat or fish?
Defo goat.
Goat? That's
Yeah,
him all
I
the
don't
way.
do well with the water.
Tú no eres pez. Tú no eres pez. Tú eres cabra. Tú eres cabra. Tú eres cabra. Cabra versus pez. Cabra versus pez. Cabra versus pez. Cabra versus pez.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cabra versus Pez! Holy shit. Alright, put your hands together. Yema Nkele!
Thank you, sir.
I'll turn it up.
I was kind of hoping to come up with some of that Cabra versus Pace. That shit was saucy.
It is still Cabra versus pez.
That Cabra versus Cinco de Mayo, bro. Like, I gotta say I'm Team Cabra.
Yeah.
It's definitely goat. I'm definitely side goat because it has fur. And as we all know, animals with fur can get you some pussy. That's just a fact. Logically, I have to go Team Cabra. Also, the African in me tells me that goat tastes way better than fish. The only pussy I don't eat smells like fish. Oh man, I'm high, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or I'm not high enough. It's somewhere in there. I haven't figured it out yet. I haven't smoked since like 4:20, man.
Oh shit.
So this is nice. Yeah, man. Like 5 solid hours, bro. Just like going it straight and narrow. You know what I mean? Like holding it down, keeping it together. I had to cut back. I used to have problems with my weed use. I used to smoke like all the time. Right before I jack off. I used to be a chronic masturbator. I used to just put on some Dr. Dre and go to town on myself. I used to be a chronic masturbator, man. Had to get my life in order. I hate the fact that why everybody think weed smokers is drug users. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like just because I get high don't mean I do hella drugs. Does mean I do all natural drugs because I fuck with shrooms hella tough.
There you go.
And they come from the earth.
Yep.
Because the Lord gave it to me. Nah, but I only done shrooms a couple of times. You know what I mean? Like, and it was a nice day. Like, I went to the beach. I did some shrooms. Listened to all my favorite songs on the Uber ride back. Did some comedy after. That's a perfect day to do drugs.
Yeah.
Not like some of the time this girl tried to get me to do coke.
No.
Couldn't do it, man. Nah, because like she was like, we were at a party and then she tried to pull me into the bathroom and she was like, she brought out a key and she did a line off it or she snorted it. It's called a key bump. I hear it's called in the pro league. Give herself a little key bump, and then she was like, "Come on, just do it." And I was like, "Miss,
Miss.
I don't know who you think my mother raised, but if you think that my first time doing cocaine is going to be off of a key and not off of a titty, you must have me confused, miss." Maybe I've just been spoiled and romanticized by the movies, but I always imagined my first time would be more special than that. You know what I mean? And so that's when I made a decision to save my nostrils for marriage. That I'm devoted to. Man, it's hard, man. I don't fuck with Trump, but I fuck with these Kanye beats. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm at a crossroads.
Yes.
Because I get where Kanye's coming from. I do think he's stupid, and I hate white people. You know what I mean? And I only say that to cover my bases. I don't want to be an Uncle Tom and shit. Like we as and not to get confused. Like I love any nigga who can rip a guitar the way you do, sir. Like it's not white people on a personal level. It's just that in general. We don't fuck with slavery. That's just something we don't fuck with. And so as black people, we have to hate white people no matter how personally we fuck with goat versus fish. Because he broke it down all so simple. I never understood life before goat versus fish.
Goat versus fish is with you now.
Just like that. That's how, and that's exactly how things shifted for black people. Like the next 5 years, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, how did it get so much better for black people? Goat versus fish. Nah, but I don't fuck with Trump, but I will say he did pull off one thing. He didn't make America necessarily great again, But I did get that old feeling, like back when I was a kid when he got in office, like that I lost when Obama made it. That feeling when you get to just be like, hey, motherfuck the government and motherfuck the system, you know? Because now it feels much better to say that shit, like without having to explain, hey, but let me explain why Obamacare is really designed for the common man and how it helps out everybody. It's hard to be an anarchist and fuck with the president.
That's real shit.
Man. How much time have I done yet? I don't know if I'm have hella time left or no time left.
You got like 2 minutes.
Alright, 2 minutes. So, although we hate white people in general, white people should never forget, we still fuck with you on a personal level.
True.
White Mike, hey, you still the plug, you still got the best weed. Like, we all still got a white Mike in our community that we fuck with on a personal level. But it's just that there was such a period of time in human history where black people couldn't say how we felt about white people. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like if a white person was to come up to you and be like, hey, how do you feel about white people? Well, sir, you gave me a job.
Oh my God.
And quite frankly, my daddy should have never tried to do no book learning. I love it. And conversely, to be fair, there was a point in human history where white people weren't allowed to say how they felt about black people. Like a white person couldn't go up to his mother and be like, oh my gosh, Mom, I just met the most lovely colored gal down by the river. What'd you just say, you nigger lover? I said I was thinking about raping that girl, I was. Because that was more socially acceptable at the time.
Oh my God.
And that's why white people always love black people. Or at least in general, even though not necessarily dating their daughters or in their community. I'm gonna take this blunt.
Yeah.
Yes.
That part. I'm gonna ask you guys to follow me on my Instagram at Comedy Yema Yem. Follow my comedy shows and my comedy events at Any Means Comedy. I'm gonna pass this back to the host. You guys have been wonderful. We getting high tonight.
Yeah! Ladies and gentlemen, Yema Nkele! Make some fucking noise. Yeah. I'm glad to finally have you on, dude.
I know. I've really wanted to be on this since its inception.
I think like we bumped into each other on the elevator, and like I was in between seasons. You know, like we really didn't talk much. You know, that's one thing I want to say off the top is like you're real chill. You know, like compared to a lot of other comedians, you just smooth and quiet, you know, and I really appreciate that shit.
Thank you.
And it made sense when I found out you were a dad, you know, and like fucking just one day, you know, we were on the way up to Rooftop Mic. I think
Yeah, we were on the way to Rooftop.
You're like, yo, Vic, what about High Tonight Show? I was like, dude, you're there, man. I got you, dude. I always love it, you know, when I find a fellow smoker comedian, you know, because there's a lot of them that are like strictly drinking or strictly coke, but you know, and some of them are like going sober and shit. But like, it's cool whenever I find a fellow stoner. By the way, let me light you a fresh one. So how you gotta?
It likes you. The goat wishes
goat,
to be
yeah,
with
you
the
can hold
goat.
the
It wishes to be with the goat.
The goat doesn't know I have recipes for the goat.
So how old is your kid?
My son will be 6 come September.
Wow, man, that's beautiful, dude. What's his name?
Elijah.
Elijah.
Yes.
And so, all right, my son River is gonna be 18 months this month. I mean, you got any word of advice? Right now, we're going through the terrible too. He's becoming a little asshole, man. He's like slapping us and shit, throwing fits. I'm scared because he barely looks like me. So if he's freaking out in public, I'm like, oh, he's mine, I promise. Like, okay, you know, it's really terrible, you know.
I always say, give children more credit.
Mm-hmm.
Always give your kids more credit.
They're smarter than you think.
They're way smarter than you think.
He's already acting. You're right. Yeah, they pick up on like subtleties so quickly.
They know exactly how much they could get away with. And if you really just tell them, just tell them. I promise you, just tell them the truth. Like, be like, all right, if you keep throwing a fit, I'm just gonna get annoyed and ignore you. Just tell him the truth.
Just tell him that.
And then when he starts doing it, ignore him. When he's in public, you know, he gets a little bit more leeway. You just have to deal with it. But if you tell him what's going to happen, and then it happens, he's just gonna be like, oh, I guess I gotta do something else. And just tell him, hey, yo, talk. Tell me what the problem is, and I'll figure out how to help you.
And that's punishment right there, is ignoring, just like shutting him out. Because that's what we've been doing. We're just throwing his ass in the crib and just like leaving him alone, you know. That's like a little jail cell for him. Like in the little wooden bars and everything. You just got blocks to play with.
You're lucky.
You say you have a small one.
He's a giant. Like,
You said it is smart, yes? Is it smart enough to know if it is yet goat or fish?
he doesn't know whether or not he's a goat.
That is the way of the small ones. Yes,
That's because I do my best not to force goat or fish.
Exactly.
On my child.
We
Let
celebrate
them
this
choose.
goat.
You know, you show them the good and the bad of both sides, but you don't push anything on them.
Yeah.
You know, I find it way more exciting to see what he chooses than to see what I can push onto him. You know, like I'm really interested to see what his personality is going to develop into. And that's really exciting, man. It's really cool that you have that.
It's fun, man. I completely loved the Terrible Twos. It's
really,
yeah, like I loved all, like, I like the older he becomes. Like, my son's become full grown kid. Like, he's become full grown kid. He's rude. Like, he will shut me down. Like, he's been diagnosed with the autism.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I don't really. I think it's just that he's smarter than other kids, so he doesn't want to talk to him, and so I think that's what a big problem is. But he's smart. Like he completely understands how to communicate, and so he's rude, and he hasn't that excuse that he has autism. Mm-hmm. So he can't read my emotions. But if he doesn't want you to do something, he'll just tell you like, "Hey, go over there." Like he's just like he's old. Like he's like, "Hey, I'm doing this. Can you go play video games, Dad?"
Really?
Like he's just like that's his favorite thing to do is just be like, "Dad, go play video games."
He tells you.
He'll tell me, yeah, like it's the most polite way to tell you,
wow.
I need you to stop bothering me.
And what are his interests? What is he gravitating towards?
Yes, does it like to versus? Is it versus? Is it already looking at fish, wondering if it wants to versus them as a goat? Is it already doing it? Is it already doing it?
He does have a pet fish, so
it does a fish.
Go.
Clever,
Interesting,
very
very
clever
interesting.
one, yes.
only because I wanted to watch it die.
Mine died. I remember that shit. Oh yeah, thank you, sir.
This one's holy.
Yeah, it
I
is.
like this one.
Do you promise to be a true goat?
I've always been a true goat.
It is goat for this goat. It is goat for this goat.
Yeah,
it is goat for this goat. You're a goat.
You got an official goat card.
If you're not doing what you're doing to try and be the goat, I don't know what you're doing.
I like that shit. So,
but no, he's super into education. He's super boring. Like that's why you
smart.
Yeah, that's why you have to always tell me to do other stuff because I be trying to get him to goof off, and he just be reading, and I just be like, "Oh, you don't want to play soccer?" I just be rolling soccer balls and basketballs at him. He'd be like, "Hey, I'm reading."
And is it like general subjects or what?
Geography.
Geography
And language.
Really?
He's trying to get me on a watch list. That's what he's about. He learns Arabic and Russian. Like that's his shit.
Oh shit! Whoa! Wait a second. So he's learning those languages at 6?
Via YouTube.
Okay.
Via YouTube, children can learn anything in the world.
Wow. He's just teaching himself that. That's interesting.
He's just
those are old
teaching
languages
himself.
too. Those are. I mean, wow. That's very cool, man.
Not as old as goat versus fish. In the beginning, there was goat versus fish.
Right, of course. But yeah, it's right after that. So is there anything you got coming up, Yema, you want to talk about?
Yes, indeed. Damn it, boy. May 18th, I have a show in downtown LA.
Cool.
It's the Most Wanted show. We have friend of the show on there, Roger Lopez.
Oh shit! Oh, one nut.
Roger One Nut Lopez. It's if you go to mostwantedshow.splashdat.com.
Cool.
And you can get tickets there. It's $10 for open bar.
Oh.
First hour open bar, $10 pre-sale ticket.
Shit.
That is more than reasonable.
Yeah.
Like, come through, get lit. 2 hours of comedy. It's gonna be dope.
We'll check that out for sure, man.
Yeah.
Guys, make some noise for Yema. Guys, put your hands together. Jordan Iverson! Let's go!
Yeah. Shout out Yema. Shout out Cinco de Mayo. Shout out Go vs. Fish. I got my cousin with me, my producer, Mackinswayze, who produced most of my songs. Real name Jordan Iverson coming soon. That's really the name. My cover's my ID, so just in case y'all don't really think that's the real name, that's the real name. But hey, we about to get into this music.
Show real
Let's
address
go.
on there.
That's blocked out. Yeah. Yeah, produced by Mackinswayze.
Hey.
Yeah. Jordan Iverson again, real name Jordan Iverson coming soon. That's the project. Yeah. I've been grinding, being shining.
Pain, emotion, struggle, life, facing adversity, we becoming a man, we facing
Instagram at I'm Jordan Iverson. I am Jordan Iverson. Dreams invented from what I went through, lost my life and took a sense. So I ain't had too many friends, cause most of these niggas mental got a mentor. Got me through the trial and tribulation. All I want is success. I had a lot of time I waited for the fakers, for the takers. Took a little piece of me, you only fed on the weak. The beast is now unleashed, my main homie still rhyme, being conquering disease, stronger than anybody I knew. Most of these niggas is fleas, now I flee. Lord got me on the right path. I can hardly breathe, my mom said I'm fresh to death. Praise dying for my Steve, bully me, I'm not gonna stop until the fight is gone. Like a vampire, that's probably till the night is gone. Got me fucked up, they lucked up, it won't last long. Fight too strong, now I might get on, shit on. Silly nigga, I just got my fix on, I don't fit in. I split your wig, huh? Been grinding, been shining. They say, who the fuck are you? You can make it through the rough. They don't give a fuck about you. Been wounded, still bleeding. They don't give a fuck about you. I'm still screaming, fuck you. They screaming, who the fuck are you? Been grinding, been shining. They say, who the fuck are you? You can make it through the rough. They don't give a fuck about you. Been wounded, still bleeding. They don't give a fuck about you. I'm still screaming, fuck you. They screaming, who the fuck are you? Jake. Yeah. I'm finna take a hit of this blunt.
Yeah.
We out here doing it. That's my track. The intro, who the fuck are you? WTF AY. That's gonna be the song title. Woo. Shout out Mackinswayze. I'm faded. Shout out Yema again. That nigga funny as fuck.
Yeah.
We finna get into the next one. I call this shit gymnastics because we talk about flipping money, flipping bitches, just flipping anything you can flip. Whatever you can flip. Flip. Yeah, man, we flipping.
It flips.
Let me go first.
Like a fish.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna get the same reaction as the audience from you, bro. I was looking like, man, this nigga crazy, but he's funny as hell though, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Woo! Produced by Mackinswayze again. I'm telling you, he's done talented. I don't know why you want to show his face. Mackinswayze, come up here.
Come on out,
Come up here, man. Yeah. Young fiend with a dream to be hood rich. If I can flip a zone, I can flip a disc. I can flip 3 or 4, then I can flip a. That's turning my life around. Now I'm flipping. Yep. Bad bitch flipping pancakes. The early stay consistent. I ain't putting on my damn place. All rules, money gonna fill the hunger. I ain't getting any younger. I've been waiting till I'm broke. You feeling patient like you like the pinner. Can't be a fucking Heart is racing. This feeling there's no replacing. And if it stops beating, I'm praying you can't replace it. Laces so I can see better. More trees to breathe better. More trees equals more paper. More paper means more letters. More letters means more verses. I'm forever breaking curses. About this person, competition, praying they never see me in person. I be working on Rihanna, bitches I love the wear designer. I wanna get behind them, driving like a Honda. You wanna make me light it up, swear your ass and sign up. I started from the bottom, different there, but nigga climbed up. Try us, wings, platinum, climbed up. Higher, up the way, until the sky go. You bitches lying, you fools and some liars. Saying you got heat, but you not present when it's fire. You not present when it's burning. You hiding behind the curtains, I hid it behind the curtain. Look at the kitty purring, I walk through the city straight. Moving through traffic, I need them more natural, cause most these hoes is plastic.
Gymnastics, I'm hyperactive, she on the mattress.
Throwing that ass backwards, baby, that ass is clapping.
You looking at my reaction, you know
I'm thinking about smacking. I just wanna know
you can make that ass backflip.
Gymnastics, I'm hyperactive, she on the mattress. Throwing that ass backwards, baby, that ass is clapping. You looking at my reaction, you know I'm thinking about smacking. I just wanna know
You can make that ass
backflip.
Make that ass backflip.
Can you make that ass backflip?
Yeah, make that ass backflip.
Yeah, Victor Martinez, shout out my nigga. Shout out my nigga Yema. Hey, and also my dude out the frame playing the guitar. Shout out my nigga right here. Nigga behind the camera, everybody here supporting.
What this nigga saying?
Hey! Guys, that was Jerome Tennison. Make some fucking noise!
Thank you so much for coming out. I got connected through Mackinswayze right here. So, tell me how you guys got together. I mean, y'all are a hell of a fucking team, okay? You can tell chemistry. That's all it's about, and I can tell you guys, y'all know what to do with each other, man. You guys, y'all work so fucking well, and that was a hell of a show, guys. So, tell me about yourselves. Tell me about your history.
Okay, so man, it started with my older cousin, Pescado. That's what he calls himself, Pescado B4. Super cool dude. Anyways, he started off rapping, and eventually me and the younger cousins look at the older cousin like, oh my god. So we basically, heard a lot of his music and like, we can do this ourselves. So I started off making just, mixtapes with the fucking, I think it was a Logitech mic.
And how long ago was this?
This was probably 7 years ago.
No shit.
Yeah, it was probably 7 years ago with a Logitech mic. And then Mac had heard a lot of my shit, and he was like, cousin, I got what you need. And he sent me a beat, and it was Problems, and I was like, it's a rap from here. Like, this dude got talent.
Mackin. So you guys got started around the same time then?
I started a little earlier. Yeah, I started earlier.
And how'd y'all find each other?
That's my cousin.
Your cousin.
That's
But
cousin.
like, you were just so happened to be working in the same field, and you were already like working with the beats and everything right around there.
Well, not technically. Well, I was about like 2 years ago. I started. After I heard him rap, I was like, oh, he's taking it serious.
Definitely.
Oh, then I'm gonna start making these beats. Central Problems, and he's like, oh, cousin, you're dope. I was like, oh, okay. So I'm gonna continue making these beats, and then we came up with real name Jordan Iverson.
I like that.
From there,
And that's the full thing. Real name Jordan Iverson.
Yes,
real name Jordan Iverson. The whole family got behind it. So like I said, my cousin Pescado rap.
No relation to fish.
Pescado!
That's a fish. That's what it translates
We all
to.
go to here. Even Pescado will go. But yeah, Pescado, aka we call him Fish. Man, he was making music and his bars. I'm gonna be honest, I'm still trying to get on his level.
Right.
His
Okay.
bars is like, oh my god. Like,
And so, would you are y'all all in the same like label? Is this how it's working, or?
We are all kind of in the same little group. We have another cousin, my other cousin, Big Rob.
Okay.
He started off Willow Jackson Music.
Okay.
All right. He started off Willow Jackson Music. We have my other cousin D Smooth, and he's his little brother. Everybody's just musically inclined. Or everybody's musically inclined, or some of our family is businessly inclined. They know how to talk. They know how to make moves. So that's Big Rob right there, Willow Jackson Music. I'm still kind of doing my own thing, but of course that's my family right there. So You know, so
Absolutely.
Willow Jackson Music is Willow Jackson Music, and that's that. But as far as like labels, like backing me, I don't have a label backing me right now. And as far
But you're
as
still doing your own thing, and you're doing
yeah.
it very well. You
Oh,
know,
thank
the
you.
level that you're pushing this at, you're gonna get to a point where you're gonna have your choice. You know,
Yeah.
you're gonna be able to call the shots,
Yeah.
and that's the way to do it. You know,
Right.
and you guys are really fucking doing it. I mean, so is there anything you guys got coming up y'all want to talk about?
Okay, real name Jerome Iverson. We are booking some shows soon. We're kind of choosing between a couple.
Okay.
Choosing between a couple of shows, but I mean they're at El Rey Theater. I know one's at Soma coming up in San Diego, so we're still making our moves. You feel
Cool,
me?
man.
So,
and where can we find all this at?
Man, you can find everything at I'm Jordan Iverson. If you follow me on Instagram, you follow at Mackinswayze, WJM,
Okay.
Willow Jackson Music, so WJM on Instagram. You'll find a lot of our stuff. I got a SoundCloud, Mr. Miyagi, which we ain't done yet, y'all. We perform at Mr. Miyagi a little later, and that one's on iTunes, Tidal.
Oh, we're gonna see that one later.
Yeah,
Okay.
Spotify. You guys will see that one later.
Okay, and so these last 2 songs that you did, you can find those online as well.
Those ones are to be released.
Oh,
I gave y'all
I
some
love
exclusive.
it when we get that
Y'all
shit.
got the
Guys,
exclusive.
we
Yeah.
always get exclusives on the High Tonight
Okay.
Show. I want to keep that shit going.
Yeah.
Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
that shit. So before we get you going, tell me about your relationship with marijuana. Like, what's it? How does it affect your work? Does it inspire you? For me, it keeps me going. You know,
Yeah.
like it really. I mean, sometimes you know people think it makes you lazy, but if you get like. You know, like a frappuccino and a sativa, you can get some shit done. That's like fucking, I mean, that's just like legal crack. That shit, you'll be so productive, you know? So, I mean, how does it affect you guys? I see you're pretty comfortable performing with it.
Yeah. Okay, so honestly, I really use it when I'm lounging or when I'm doing like personal activities, like I like hiking and shit like that. So I use it for that mainly. I don't use it when I'm in the studio. I drink when I'm in the studio.
Okay, all
but
right.
when weed's around me, I gotta smoke. So,
Yeah, there you go.
And I can operate off a little weed. You feel me?
Right. And what would you say, Mac?
I'm more of the drinker rather than
Yeah,
the smoker.
he don't really
Really?
smoke. But I
Yeah.
force him. I be
So
trying
listen,
to.
because it was exclusive, I just smoked the blunt while you perform it, and he handed it to me.
Right?
I get exclusive that I smoke.
Right. And so it's not, so both of you guys are kind of on the same page about
Yeah,
that.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
You know, there's definitely a place for that.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
as a Mexican, I don't like drinking. I don't know what it is. It
What?
just fucking completely went right over my head. I don't know.
Jeez.
It passed me up. It's not for me. I blacked out once, and it's just not my thing. I mean, it was a really sad story. Like, I mean, I ended up like trying to bite a dude. It was terrible. That's the whole backstory. That's alcohol, man. I'm not. Don't do
You
it.
trying to bite somebody, man?
Yeah, I wasn't there. All right, it wasn't me. Okay, it was
somebody else.
Somebody
It was your
else. You
demons,
turn
bro.
into a whole nother thing.
It's
Like
your
with
demons.
with marijuana, if you eat an edible, you'll black out, but you won't. You're gonna remember right up until you black out.
See,
you know?
I had an edible, and I remember I was at the beach, ate an edible, and I just relaxed. I didn't go to water, nothing. Just fell asleep on the ground, just fell asleep like this.
Right there.
Woke up, I was like, oh, I feel refreshed. And everybody's packed up, ready to go. I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
well,
that's
that
a
sucks.
good deep sleep. And see, with alcohol, you'll wake up from that shit, from the same nap, felt like you just got knocked the fuck out. Like someone hit you
That's
over
true.
the head, this ringing fucking like pain. You
But
know?
I'm gonna be
That's
honest
it.
with you. You just gotta find your alcohol, cause I got alcohols that like tequila, for instance. And sadly, I had tequila tonight. But tequila, for instance, it just I'm not my same person. But when I drink a little bit of Henny or Crown or whatever any of those,
Okay.
I'm like on this level, like, oh, I'm cool.
That's
I
where
can
you're.
chill.
That's where you start like getting into your zone.
Yeah,
That's where you
exactly.
start wanting to
Hitting the red
produce
cup.
things,
Exactly.
starting to write, starting to get
Exactly.
your flow in. Is Henny. All right, so maybe
Yeah,
I'll try
little
some
Henny
Henny.
is try a little
I'm
dark. Try a
trying.
little dark.
I
Tell me your
might-
dark side, bro.
Yeah, I heard Henny and blunts is something else.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So maybe.
It's the place to be.
I like that, man. That's
Yeah.
definitely cool. So, well, guys, make some fucking noise. Jordan Iverson, Mackinswayze, put your hands together. Jerome Tennison! Let's go!
What's up?
What up?
Woo! I'm here on the High Tonight Show.
Yes, sir.
Representing, man. You had the rappers on here earlier, man. I wish, like, as a comic, you could have, like, another, like, comic on stage with you. Just, like, helping you finish your jokes.
Right.
Or you need, like, some big booty girls dancing so when you bombing, like, they just get distracted by the booty. They don't even realize. That'd be so dope. Rappers, man. I'm a high school math teacher. That's right,
Yeah.
some pillar of this community.
I was just thinking about like the rapping. Like I've listened to so many mixtapes from like my students trying to be supportive, and I don't have the heart to tell some of them they trash. Like, nah, you really need to be doing your homework. Like, you need to be paying attention. It's crazy, yeah. Like, so it's like they give me their mixtapes, and then I have this one student, man. I'm pretty sure he gangbanged. Like I haven't confirmed it, but he got like a little teardrop tattoo under his eye. So I mean, he probably got a body or something on him. So I'm like afraid of him, like a little bit. Like, when I sign homework, I look at him like for confirmation if it's okay. Like I'm like 1 through 20 even. 1 through 10 even? Alright guys, no homework tonight. I once said a pop quiz. He was like, oh, cuz. I said, not today. Pop quiz probably tomorrow or something. But I love, man, being a teacher. It's a lot of fun. You know, I get to sometimes I do my stand-up in front of my students. I go into like a 5-minute bit in front of my students. And, you know, teaching at the high school level, most of my kids like 16, 17, 18. And nothing is worse than bombing in front of like high school students. Like that's like, and they start pulling out, they be Snapchatting you like, is he trying to be funny? Like, I'll let you know they do not like rape jokes. Don't do that. They are a tough crowd, man. But yeah, so you know, so that's one thing cool about it. But you know, like being a teacher, like people ask me all the time, especially like with everything that's been going on, like with the school shootings and stuff. And people ask me like, "You afraid of school shootings?" Hell yeah! Like hell yeah! Like I'm worried every damn day. Like I have my eye on this one kid. Like I think like he's not even in my class. I just saw him in the hallway one day. I was like, oh yeah, there he is. There he is. I introduced myself to him. I was like, yeah, I'm Mr. Tennison. I said, you know, if you know you want to come have lunch to me, I'll bring you extra lunch if you need me to, or you can come in here, we'll play Fortnite. Like, I'll be hanging out with him. I'm like, you got a friend in me. Because I'm thinking, like, if he decides, like, to shoot up the school, like, he'll just be like, brrr, and then he'll stop and be like, Mr. Tennison, is that you behind the desk crying? And wow, shit. Yeah, it's me. He's like, man, go on and get out of here. You got a friend in me. Yes. I wouldn't even go back for another student. I'd be like, what about us? That's what the police are for. Somebody got to tell the story. Shoot. But no, it's like, I don't know, man. And then, like, they want to give us, like, guns. They want to give, like, the police guns. And, like, I mean, I don't really want to, I know for sure I don't want a gun. Especially being, like, a black male teacher. Like, I don't want a damn gun. Imagine, like, a school shooting happens, right? And then I go in my class, I go get my gun, run in the hallway, and the police is like, there he is! Take him out! I gotta hold a student hostage, like, tell them I work here. Tell them I work here. Right? We gonna exit very slowly. Like, you gonna raise my grade? Now's not the time. Ain't gonna be no grades. Nah, but it's you know, it's crazy, man, the times that we living in. And then, like, some of the teachers that I have in my school are, like, so uncoordinated and goofy that, like, they don't need a gun. Like, I got this teacher I work with, Miss Hinkleberry. Oh my God, that's her real name, Miss Hinkleberry. And if she's watching this, you don't need no damn gun. You do not know. Like, she'd be like one of those teachers just watching the news, like, teacher shoots herself in the foot again. Like, again? Like, dang. Plus, like, she'll be in a misplaced gun. She'll be, like, going back to her desk, like, okay, I had a pistol sitting right here. Oh, shit. Who been by my desk? You know, as teachers, we always be making false threats like, okay, I will go through everybody's backpack if I have to until I find my pistol. No one is leaving the class. They're like, no, Miss Hinkleberry, you not leaving the class. I don't know, man. I feel like I'd be irresponsible too if I had my gun. Like if I had one, like, because I'm sure like that you're only supposed to probably carry it like a certain. I have it on me like all the time. Like I would just be carrying, like even especially like in the classroom, I wouldn't even be hiding. I'll be showing my pistol. In my waistband, my shirt be tucked underneath it. And every time, like I have a problem with a student, I'll be like, hey. All right, I said have a seat. Plus, you know, we get to those times too where you like, you know, everybody has bad days. You know what I mean? Like you don't really want to be at work. Like what if one of the students is like driving me crazy? Right? Just driving me nuts. I'm like, hey man, all right, look, Calvin, have a seat. All right, look, guys, we're gonna go over a new Calvin, have a seat. All right, look, we're gonna go over a new lesson plan. All right, so pull out, Calvin. Didn't I tell you to have a seat? Now sit down slowly. All right, like reach in your backpack, pull a pencil. Hey, what are you doing? Why are you standing there? Put your phone away. You're not gonna have me on YouTube holding the class at gunpoint. Now, Calvin, sit down. I'm not gonna tell you. I swear, I'm not gonna tell you again. All right, you put your phone away. Whoa, what's going on over here? Where'd you get a gun from? You stole it from Miss Hinkleberry. You win. What if that was like the way to get away with having a gun too? You see, like being black, you get pulled over. I could explain this, officer. I'm a teacher. Nah, but it's crazy, man. And you know, like my students, I didn't realize teaching at the high school level, like my students would give me gifts. So they give me gifts from like time to time, like but going for Christmas break, students were giving me like gift cards and like all kind of gifts. And then one of the students got me like Beats by Dre, and like one of those high quality. This is at least like those are like $200-$300 easily. And like when you get a gift like that, I have to tell the kid like, man, like I appreciate the gift, but like I can't accept this. You know, without at least raising your grade a little bit, like you good, man. Don't worry about it. Man, it's crazy too, cause like I'm bad at this too, man. Like I know I'm way nicer to the athletes in my class than the rest of the students. Well, not all the athletes, the ones I think might go pro. Like I be walking the campus just scouting, like oh yeah, he look like he might go pro. But especially in my class, like one of my students, man, he's an athlete, and he was like, Mr. Tennison, I didn't do my homework last night. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I didn't do it, man. I'm sorry. I said, look, man, what's your 40-yard dash time? What are we talking about here? He was like, I run a 4.4. I was like, you run a 4.4 in high school? In high school, he running a 4.4. I was like, look, you don't ever have to do no homework in this class at all. Like, I moved this seat by me, so like we like buddies now. Everybody else be doing work. Everybody else be doing classwork. I'm playing catch with the football with them. Y'all do y'all work. I'm like, yeah, man, like, you know, how's the rest of your classes going? I was like, because you know, I could talk to your other teachers, no problem if you need me. He's like, what? I was like, yeah. I was like, make sure you catch it like this when the football hit. I was like, in fact, you can call me Dad. So he calls me Dad. And one time he came running in the classroom. He was like, Dad. He came in and I was like, what's going on? He's like, Dad. I was like, calm down. What's wrong? He was like, I just slapped this girl. He was like, I don't know what came over me, Dad. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, dude, I had like such high hopes for you. And I was like, it wasn't until this very moment that like I realized you are definitely going to the NFL. Because the first thing you need is domestic abuse. You know how hard he's gonna play so everybody forget that he didn't hit him. This guy's gonna be a top draft pick. Easily, man. Nah, but yeah, it's you know what? This recently happened actually. One of the well, you heard it first here on High Tonight. One of my my colleagues, teacher, got busted watching porn in the classroom.
Oh, man.
Shit.
Yeah. Nasty motherfucker.
Nasty, right? And so word started getting around like from teachers and stuff, and we had to have this meeting. And they didn't tell us anything. All they told us was like, you know, when the teachers got caught watching porn in the classroom. And I remember going to that meeting being so damn nervous. Like I was like, oh my gosh, I knew I shouldn't have bypassed the firewall. I I was so excited when they told me who it was. I was like, oh gosh. I started going overboard. That's just like he's in charge of kids. Like how could he be doing this? Nah, it's crazy. It's like it really happened. So I think he's like you know when you're white, you just get suspended. So he ain't fired or nothing. He's just suspended for the rest of the year, and it's only like a month left. So shit, he's good to go. I was thinking, man, like about the Bible, and you know how like Adam and Eve, you know, so like bit the apple, like they was running around naked before then, and like you know once the apple bit and all that stuff, we know you guys know the history of it, and like now like everybody wears clothes and stuff. But what if like being naked was like the normal? And like everything, like so when a girl wears clothes, you know, you just like everybody just staring at her, like everybody else is naked, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't wear these clothes, so you guys could just be staring at me. I just thought it looked good on me." Everybody's like, "She wearing clothes? Oh my god!" Can you imagine like getting into those kind of arguments? You be with your girl, you like, "Are we about to go out tonight for John's birthday?" She go in, she come out the bedroom, you like, whoa, for real? Like you gonna put on clothes? Like are you gonna put on a turtleneck and jeans and you know we going to the homies like birthday party? Like that is just you want the attention. And I will not be with any whore. No. Alright, what else about me, man? I'm addicted to the strip club.
Alright. Hey,
I love the strip club, man.
too.
That's like, oh my god, it's one of my favorite pastimes. Or I don't even know if it's a pastime at this point. I think it's because I lived there. Like I knew I had a problem when I was there eating lunch. Like I was there eating food, and I'm just hanging out. Like I watched like girls audition. Like I was in there, it was just me and the manager, and we were watching the girls audition. And I was like, yeah, that's when I knew. Like I'm been here like way too much. Like I'm here too much. I started recognizing the girls like outside of the strip club. I was in Vines and I saw a girl. I was like, oh shoot, that's Cinnamon over there. Like, no, my name is Jessica. I get all excited when they tell me their real name. Like, oh yeah, she tell everybody else Cinnamon. But she told me Jessica. I'm different than the rest of everybody. She with everybody else for the money. Nah. But no, it's crazy, man. And like, so like I use like, because I'm at the strip club sometimes, you can say whatever you want as long as you like spending money. So I'm spending money, you say whatever you want. So I say, like, I like the word whore. So I say the word whore. So I have to be saying the word whore in the strip club all the time. And as long as you spend the money, you good, you know? So I say whore, like, I go, oh, excuse me, whores. Do you have the time? And they answer you. It's 12:30. Okay, thank you. But then I knew I had a problem when I started using it outside the strip club. I was like, what am I doing? Like earlier today, I was like, I saw these 3 girls and I ran up on them. I said, oh, excuse me, whores. I'm a little lost. Can you just tell me how to get to the High Tonight show? And then like 2 of them was like, whores, like we are ladies. Like you will respect us, okay? The 3rd one was like, okay, what you want to do is go down Western. She was like, he said, excuse me. No. And then like you get like these ballers that come in, people with money, and they come in and they like to do what's called making it rain, where they throw the money in the air. And they was and I was hanging out one night, and this guy was throwing money in the air. I mean, he was reaching a duffel bag, and he was just throwing the money in the air. And I don't know, like, how much money he threw in the air. All I know is I made $300 that night. Down there picking it. I was fighting with the strippers. This is for everybody. All right, you guys, that is my time.
Guys,
Jerome
yes,
Tennison.
make some fucking noise! Jerome Tennison. That was awesome.
Just trying to look cool.
You're a cool ass teacher, man. You really are one of the cool teachers. Tell me right now, how many like times you caught your kids with weed?
Fuck that, man. I'm on TV, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you are.
Nah, I've never caught anybody with weed actually, but I've caught the smell. So walking by a student, you could just smell like they high as hell. But surprisingly, every student I've ever came across that's high in my class does their work.
Exactly, right? Yeah, that's what I used to do.
Do their work.
It help you focus sometimes.
It does.
Or do you teach a certain subject or just all?
Yeah, right now I'm teaching AP Calculus, and then I'm also teaching what they call integrated math, which is like geometry and algebra combined.
Oh shit! Okay, your class is the one I cheated in. All right.
Yeah.
Oh man, I ruthlessly just
with no shame, I would like copy someone else's test.
Yeah.
And my teacher, she caught me one time. She was like, "Listen, Victor, this is terrible because there's 2 different versions of this test. You copied the wrong version of the test, so your answers are the right answers on another piece of paper." And I was like, "I don't know. I don't know."
Yeah. No, that's what happened. Because like a lot of times the cheating is obvious. Like this one kid,
It was super obvious.
he was sitting like right in front of my desk, like from like here to you,
Uh-huh.
and he was cheating, and I gave him an A.
You did?
Because I was like, he got heart. Like he knew.
See,
he knew I was right
exactly.
there looking at him.
That's
and
what
he
she
still
did with
was
me
just
too.
like
They just let it go. Like, you
Yeah.
know what? This effort that you put into this.
Yep.
I mean, I guess that's what I was looking for.
exactly.
You know?
I'm like, you gonna go places, man. You got a lot of heart. You ain't
I mean, it's creativity.
yeah. The rest of the kids all nervous.
Yeah, they do the work and shit. Oh, what do you think of goat versus fish? Are there any kids like this?
Oh yeah, you got a few of those, you know, that
Yeah.
you just kind of you keep your distance. A little
Doing
bit.
psychedelics and shit. How long you been a teacher now?
This will be my first school year.
First school year.
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And that's something you want to do for a while. It's kind of like a real commitment, you know. It's like becoming a
Yeah.
doctor. or
It
something,
really
you know?
is a commitment, man. Like it really is, cause like I sometimes doing comedy, I'll end up, sometimes you stay out late. And one of the times it was like I was late to work because I stayed out till like 4 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like 5 minutes late. But I didn't think it was a big deal. I'm like, whatever, I'll still let them into the class. I'm good.
Okay.
Let them into the classroom. And then one of the students went and told the principal.
Really?
Yeah. So I
Little
go to the principal.
snitches.
Exactly. I was like, oh, you little snitch.
Damn.
So I had to lie to the
Wow.
principal. He was like, I heard you were 5 minutes late.
Oh,
I was like,
really?
what? I was like, no, I was in Miss Robinson class. We were
What the fuck?
discussing stuff.
Man, what's it like? I mean, you like that shit?
It's one of the easiest jobs, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, it's the easiest job. Like, cause especially if you're dealing with the upperclassmen, the freshmen are a little challenging. So like with my freshmen, I'm very serious with them.
Okay.
You gotta be stern with the freshmen, but the like juniors and seniors, oh yeah, you can just kick it in there.
That's
they
what I
they
do.
know how to respect you and stuff. You don't have to tell them. So.
And you
They
got
hit it
the
up.
summer coming up.
Got the summer coming up.
You always have like a favorite like student that's like gonna move on and shit. I mean,
Yeah, I got a few of them that's gonna move on, man. A lot of them, like I say, the athlete.
Right, yeah, you gotta
contact
keep
with
in
him.
contact with
Yep,
them, yeah.
make sure we exchange numbers and
That's
everything.
real shit.
And yeah, but you get a few like students that are your favorites. Most of the times I just like students who are real. So like some of my favorites don't even be like the A students or nothing. They just be like the students who are just real. Just they try hard, they themselves. And I'm like, okay, this dude is cool.
Man, calculus though, huh?
Yeah.
Ah, that's like letters.
Yeah.
Even with a calculator, that's still
Yeah, it's
difficult.
tough. I have a tough time sometimes still. Like
As a
I'll be
teacher.
doing stuff wrong on the board, and there's always that one nerd like, oh, Mr. Tennison, I don't know if that's how you do that. I'm like, this is a new way of doing it.
Oh,
In fact, we'll
shit.
continue tomorrow. Tomorrow.
And
We go YouTube this.
Comedy came after being a teacher.
And before.
Oh, before.
Before, man, yeah. So I was, I was doing open mics and all that stuff. I never wanted to be a teacher.
No
I was
shit.
substitute teaching.
Okay.
And then I had my degree in math, and so what happened was a teacher went out, and they asked me if I could take over. And I was like, no. I told them no. I said, hell no, because I was like, I don't want to be no teacher. I was like, because I like subbing. You just go in there, put your feet on the desk, take your 10 as you're chilling.
Yeah.
But then when I saw the money increase, I was like, oh, I guess I could do it.
Oh, really?
So then that's how I ended up doing it. Yep, just like that. And now I'm like, this is the best job in the world, man. You get off like early. I can still do like auditions. I still like it's like you have a full day after Just got to be up early. That's the only thing.
Man.
6 in the morning.
I used to love it whenever substitutes would come in because we get to watch Reading Rainbow or fucking. They would just wheel in the big TV. They would just wheel that shit in like, listen, I went to the library and they had Reading Rainbow or they had Magic School Bus. And so you see just a bunch of 17-year-olds and shit just watching Magic School Bus.
Yeah.
I mean, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
You
No, I do that for sure. Oh, I do that all the time, man. Like, especially like I don't feel like teaching, I'll show a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't watch stuff that's on the list. Like I be watching stuff like Game of Thrones.
No shit. They used to like have to, make it an excuse. Like, oh yeah, it's got some education in it.
Yeah, I'm like, this is history.
Yeah, exactly. I think
made up history, but it's history.
I can't remember what we saw. Shit, I think it was like Aquila and the Bee or something like that.
Oh, okay.
And my teacher was like, yeah, she's learning the alphabet or something like that. Like, then we went to go watch it. It was awesome. But man, is there anything you got coming up you want to promote?
Man, I'm on this. As Yema was up here earlier, I'm on this Most Wanted show. Opening it up.
Cool. Y'all that same
So
show.
yeah, then I actually have a show coming up on Laugh Factory. What's next? I can't remember the date. But y'all can follow me on like Instagram. My handle is that Oklahoma.
All right, cool.
And then yeah, that's where they can follow me. So I got all kind of. Now I think I'm supposed to be coming back on here real soon too.
No shit.
Yeah, so you know, so
All
I'll be
right.
here.
that, man. And explain that name before you go real quick.
Is that Oklahoma is the first joke I ever told when I was like 5.
Really?
Yeah. And so long story short, I was with my family and we was going on vacation. So when we was going on vacation, we were going to Texas. And my parents were just trying to explain to me the size of states. Like, oh, Texas is huge.
Yeah.
And then we were going to Oklahoma, and they were like, Oklahoma's big as well, but Texas is like, one of the bigger states.
Texas is half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so in my mind, it stood in my mind. I was like, oh, so it's Oklahoma. So what happened was we got on an airplane. And when we got off, you all exit together, and this guy his wife started talking to us. And he had this big old gut. He had like this huge gut. And so I was 5, and I went up to like in front of my wife, middle of him talking to my dad, and I was like, and I pointed to his stomach, and I was like, "Is this Oklahoma?" And that was like the first, and everybody was laughing.
I like
That's
that.
when I got caught the comedy bug right there.
There
I
you
think.
go,
Right
at
around
5. Man, guys, make some fucking noise for Jerome Tennison.
Yeah.
Jordan Iverson! Let's go! Cinco de Mayo special, High Tonight Show.
My nigga Jerome funny as fuck.
Yeah!
I was fucking dying. But hey, Mr. Miyagi, I was back there smoking, behind the scenes, so we a little more lifted than the last time.
Oh,
Y'all gonna get a better performance. Yeah. Call this shit Mr. Miyagi, cause wax on wax off till your dreams come true. Keep grinding. Yeah. I need a vacay. I take no days off. West on West off, I'm Miyagi. West on West off like I'm Mr. Miyagi. I'm tryna ball like I'm down in the playoffs. West on West off, I'm Miyagi. West on West off like I'm Mr. Miyagi. This beat can get body. You hear the click, that's a shorty. And I am not talking to pump. I'm saying I click on my shorty. Yeah, this for the party. I'm in the lab so you can party. I want you to rate like New Orleans. Chuck with this beat like LaCourte. I swear that I'm always recording. Brother like Steph shot. Charged up Tesla. Mark up you extra, just hold your head up. Bitch, get your bread up, your pack and do bed. Back to chasing just a dream. Back to put together scene. Green is every money green. Blow that marijuana, breathe. I need a vacay. I take no days off. West on West off on Miyagi. West on West off like I'm Mr. Miyagi.
West side.
I'm trying to ball like I'm down in the playoffs. West on West off on Miyagi. Yeah. West on West off like I'm Mr. Miyagi. Vacated the Bahamas. Later on right now I'm grinding. My homie said they cannot find me. World's water, I ain't hot. Chilling in plain sight. Trying to make wrongs right. Making songs while I'm high. Kanye said touch the sky till they all fall down. I ain't dropped out of college, I never attended it. I run from the pigs, they try apprehending him. No, I ain't finished it. My granddad's where wisdom is. He thought I ain't hear him. Now I conquer my goals, kept trying to out like a slot machine. Put back the trigger like a slot machine. Swear these niggas never stopping me. Lame niggas, they just out me. I need a vacay. I take no days off. West on West off on Miyagi. West on West off like I'm Mr. Miyagi. I'm tryna ball like I'm motherfucking LeBron. West on West off on Miyagi. West on West off on Miyagi. I need a vacay. I take no days off. West on West off on Miyagi. West on West off like I'm Mr. Miyagi. I'm tryna ball like I'm down in the playoffs. West on West off on Miyagi. West on West off like I'm Mr. Miyagi.
Woo! Yeah!
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the real Jordan Iverson! That was the Hype Tonight Show, episode 9, Cinco de Mayo special. Catch us every week on Channel 310, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good night. I'll see you guys later.